Hi folks, Big Bobby B here for White's World. Today we're not doing a video on digging. We're going to do a little something different. I get a lot of questions at Centerville Electronics about the coils and the difference between standard coils and optional coils. First of all, standard coils are the coil that came with your machine. This is a coil that should be used to learn your machine. So before you get into optional coils, learn that coil that came with your machine first. Life will be so much easier later. So let's look at standard coils on the White's machines. As you can see in the Treasure Master Pro, the Treasure Master comes with I believe that's a 9-inch coil. The Pro comes with the 10.5-inch double D coil. MXT Pro, same coil. MX Sport, so double D, 10-inch coil. The VX3 is a 950 coil. That's 9.5 inches. That's your standard coil. And of course the V3i is again the double D 10-inch coil. The TDI is a 12-inch coil. So those are the coils that come with your machine, and like I said, those are the ones you need to learn first. One tip, I get a lot of calls where people say I buried a target and I can't find it. My machine's not getting any depth. Never bury targets. Lay them on top of the ground to test your depth. Lift your coil above it, and that's your depth. When a target is in the ground for a while, it produces a halo around it. Unlike freshly buried targets, you'll pick it up a lot deeper if it's been in the ground for a while. Freshly buried, you can almost forget it. It depends where you're going to be hunting and what you're looking for is what determines what coil you should use as an option. I prefer the 13-inch double D coil made by Detector for whites. I use it both on the MXT and the Sport. The bigger coils will give you more depth, but you want to be in an area that isn't real trashy. By that I mean an area where there aren't targets all over the place. I'll give you a little dissertation on the difference of that in 1 second. These are the common targets you're going to find in a yard. I call this a trashy yard because the targets are close together and lots of different targets. Obviously, there's only one there you want to dig. Going over with a large coil, and sometimes even the standard coil, you're going to get multiple signals. The separation is going to be horrible. So that's when the smaller coils come into effect. A little 4x6 inch shooter, you got the opportunity to pick out each individual target. Even the 5x3, you have a better chance of doing that. When you sweep the yard, you go in different directions anyway, so much better chance of picking up the individual targets. Even the 6x8 double D Eclipse coil can do the same thing. So as you can see with a standard 950 coil, 9.5 inch, it's going to be tough. One thing to remember is larger coils, more depth, smaller coils, less depth. If you're in a trashy area with a lot of targets, use a smaller coil. Even though it's going to give you a little less depth, you'll pick out the targets in between the multiple targets. The larger coil I use for open areas where there's not much trash. And this is usually an area I've already hunted before, so I know what the ground is like and the targets are like. I also like it on the beach because you get more ground coverage. It's good in the fields also. Double D coils are great coils. You have the 10-inch, you have a 13-inch, both for the Sport, and the MXT, MXT Pro, V3, V3i. Will work on any of the Eclipse machines. The 4x6 double D and the 6x8 double D. So any of those are great for high mineralized soil. You won't lose depth in mineralization using those coils. Well, I hope this makes a little sense to you, the difference between large coils, small coils, standard coils, and what coil to use when and where.